I've been thinking a lot recently about making hard choices. Actually, just making decisions in general. After this term is over, I'll be taking a class or two over the summer, and when I finish the fall semester, I'll graduate, which is awesome. Except it's terrifying, because I honestly don't know what I want to do or how to get there. And at this point, every day that goes by kind of feels like I'm just losing time. I think I'm a pretty fear-driven person. I mean, fear is a strong motivating force, or often more like demotivating force for people in general, but I'm definitely on the more anxious and neurotic side. My whole life, I've been described as a perfectionist. In fact, one of my family's favorite stories to tell is that when I was like 3 or 4 years old, I would insist that I just had to peel bananas all the way to the very bottom before eating them. And of course, as soon as my gloriously unsheathed banana was freed from its peel, it would fall to the floor and I would start crying hysterically. So my parents probably thought I was a little bit challenged. But more important than the bananas, I never wanted to do anything until I was absolutely sure what to do or what to expect. I was also described as cautious, which is probably a massive understatement. I need to have all the information to understand how everything works. I kind of expect to have something solved before I even make the first attempt. That was more or less fine when I was a kid, because when you start out, pretty much all the decisions are made for you, and the ones that aren't are small and simple. The different options are clearly laid out, and the consequences are understood to be mostly temporary. But as you get older, you have to make more decisions on your own and with bigger, longer-lasting results. The beauty of childhood and adolescence, at least ideally, is that you sort of have this structure around you, this path that doesn't hinge on the decisions you make. So there's plenty of room for trial and error. See what you like, meet people, come back, and start over next year. But me, I would never really do more than just get my toes wet because I wasn't sure. I guess I unconsciously assumed that things would become clear later. But while I was waiting to get struck by some bolt of clairvoyant lightning, I was actually just drifting. I held off on really trying anything myself and let circumstances or what other people said guide my life. Because there's a kind of safety in that. On the surface, it absolves me of responsibility, of making any wrong decisions. But at a certain point, indecision becomes inaction, which is itself a decision by default. I've been freaking out on and off the last few months about what my switch to film studies will mean for me, about summer internships, about the alternative costs of pursuing writing over physics, or game design over finance. So I'm telling myself, I just need to dive in. Because even if I could know everything and see the future, it wouldn't really help. These sorts of decisions are based on what's important to me, what my values are, so really, there is no right or better choice. They're just different versions of me. And I can't know what it's like being one of those me's until I just try. And also, it's not like graduating college means the end of all possibility. No one decision I make is going to carve my entire destiny into stone.